coming back. And here we are with an all-new episode of the Three
Dude
podcast. Boom.
Did that
Welcome
work?
to this very special afternoon edition of the Three Dude podcast.
Yeah, the three dudes drunk at 3 p.m.
It's just as well because I'm making chimichangas tonight.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah, Babish did a video on like Deadpool's chimichangas, and I'm like, my wife was like, "We got to make those." So,
Oh, nice. I don't think I
fucking
saw
making
that.
them. Dude, I'm excited. It's gonna be good. We're gonna deep fry some burritos.
Oh my god, I gotta see just what the end product looks like.
Oh, it's incredible. I already got the guacamole and the crema whipped up, so it's just a matter of
That's really beautiful.
frying the damn thing.
Oh my god, he does the pull apart.
Oh yeah,
Oh my god.
filled with cheese and beans. And,
I'm not entirely sure that the binging with Babish is not pornography.
He's really good, man. He's
Just,
really good.
You know, the thing is, I've tried some of his things and not succeeded, and I've tried other things and done really well. I think I'm kind of a crapshoot in the kitchen, man.
Yeah, whatever. So
Yeah.
am I. Everybody is.
You guys don't know how much baking I have done lately. In fact, that's probably my why we're fucked, so I'll save it. It's been a fucking disaster, which I will tell you about later.
It's
Well,
been.
we can get right into it if you want. Oh, I would remind you, though, because I
Yeah.
forgot to do it last time.
Uh-huh.
You guys should probably get a pen and a piece of paper to write stuff down.
That
Yeah,
is,
for what we learned.
you know what? That's very thoughtful of you, Chris. I was about to
Yeah.
learn nothing again.
Because we went the last 2 weeks, and I think I was the only one who wrote anything down for the,
Yeah.
the two.
Oh my god, I'm making
Yeah.
so much noise.
Yeah,
Not
see,
to brag,
when I-
because I only remembered like halfway through the first one. I'm like, oh yeah, we should probably be.
Oh yeah.
because I'm on the computer, it should ostensibly be easier for me to take notes. Just alt tab and type it out instead of writing it. But
One would think, yeah.
But the thing is, when it's out of mind and it's behind another tab, it may as well not exist.
right,
That's my
Doesn't
take.
exist.
Doesn't exist.
doesn't exist. Anyway,
Well,
so anyway, I'm hosting this week.
yeah.
It is a slam episode, and the topic's a weird one, but I think it's going to be one that we'll pull something out of our ass for.
Yeah,
As
we
we
usually do.
we often do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be good. It's gonna be great. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna cool down, forget how fucking hot it is outside.
Oh, dude, it's not even that. Okay, so what is the temperature outside right now? I have to know. It's
Alexa, what's the temperature outside?
don't ask the robot.
76.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's hot enough, but like it shouldn't be enough for me to be like drenched in a t-shirt, right?
Well, it's just that your blood hasn't warmed back up yet. You've been used to the cold for so long that,
Yeah.
you know.
It's this turning point here where like it starts to really be spring and all of a sudden I'm immediately uncomfortable again.
Yeah. I'm a sweaty boy as it is. I don't
Oh,
need any help being a sweaty boy.
Are you're a sweaty boy?
I'm a sweaty boy.
How sweaty are you?
In a sweaty world.
I'm pretty sweaty.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I was out at the store earlier, which goes along with my why we're fucked.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
we're chomping at the bit for why we're fucked.
Yeah, we're clearly fucked. Let's just get on with it.
Yeah.
Dave, why are you fucked, Dave?
Okay. Well, for the last maybe week, I have continually been attempting to figure out how to bake a fucking sandwich loaf. Like,
Good luck.
doesn't seem like it should be that hard.
It is not easy.
For some reason, it's fucking impossible. So this started, I want to say, like maybe on like Tuesday or Monday, where I did like a batch of dough, and of course you let it do the first rise, and then you punch it down, you portion it out into loaves, and you roll those up, and you set them, and you let them do their second rise. And they didn't. They just smushed out and flattened out. I baked them anyway. They were like hockey pucks.
you had bricks.
Yeah, bricks. Inedible, fucking disgusting brick bread. So I decide I'm not going to let this get me down. I immediately put together a second batch of dough.
There you go.
Do the whole, 2-hour process again. Same thing. small, inedible little bricks. I do it a third time, and I try to vary it. I'm trying to vary things as I go. So like, a little less water, maybe a little sugar in the water with the yeast when it gets started.
Get the yeast working.
Yeah, and in every instance, it fails. So I skip a day. I'm like super depressed about it. I give it a day. The second day, I do it again. 2 separate batches, same failure. Ugh. I have now baked.
Is your yeast older?
No, the yeast isn't old, and it proves out like it blooms and bubbles in the starter water. So I know I've got active like living yeast, but no matter how I do, the thing is, okay, at first the dough was too wet. I was at like 80% hydration. Like that's like ciabatta. That's too much. I figured that out. Yeah. So I dialed it back. I'm like, okay, we'll do like 60% hydration. Same failure. It just doesn't rise. So like instead of spreading out like a goopy little mess, it just doesn't rise at all. So then I'm like,
I'm sorry. I'm going to try and help you diagnose this.
Let's do this.
Instant yeast or active dry? Okay, you're doing everything right.
Well, the other thing is, I'm like, okay, so maybe I'm not developing the gluten structure that I need. This has got to be boring as hell for anyone that doesn't give a shit about bread.
Let's get into this.
But like, okay, so you need the right gluten structure, which means you got to do a lot of kneading, or you got to have your dough hook go for a while, right?
Yeah.
So I did. I let the thing, the dough hook go on, like low speed for like 10 solid minutes, which is actually kind of a long time.
Yeah.
In real time, like you could never knead that much without like getting really, really bored. So I let the thing go. It feels like the texture is better. It's a little bit more pliable, but that was the last one I did. It was the same problem.
Huh.
So now I'm wondering, okay, I've been making it in small batches. Are the batches too small and the dough actually isn't getting enough play in the bowl and it's not really stretching as much as it should because there's not enough dough? Like, could I be failing by making too small a batch?
Question: how long are you letting it proof the second time?
Second time, 30 minutes, sometimes 40 minutes if I wasn't seeing enough activity, which I never did. But like as I went on, I'm like, okay, maybe if I wait another 10 minutes, it's supposed to
let it go like another 2 hours after, you know what I mean, like the first one.
The thing is, I didn't, and maybe I should, but like I'm reading recipes where they're like, let it rise the second time for half an hour.
30 minutes, right? Yeah.
And maybe my house is too cold. If it's 71 degrees, maybe that's not warm enough for the yeast to really get going. So I kind of put it in the oven where I had turned the oven on for a few minutes and then turned it off, and I let it sit in there. No difference.
Huh. I don't know, dude. The thing is, I'm trying to diagnose this for you. I've had the same luck baking bread. I can get it to rise okay.
Yeah, like that first rise.
My loaves, the second rise too. I've never had a problem like getting it to rise the second time, but my loaves end up very dense usually because I under knead.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I'm fucked because I am at a war with yeast, and I thought we were friends. I thought yeast and I were friends after brewing beer all these years, but it turns out that their bread yeast cousins are nasty, mean little spiteful fucks. So that's it. I seriously, I made like 5 batches of dough in a week, and none of them worked. I threw so much bread away.
Don't give up.
All right.
Just you gotta keep, fucking that pig until it squeals. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the expression. I remember that. Anyway, that's it. I'm fucked. I seriously, I can't get over it. It's like, it gets to the stuff like this bothers me deeply, and it gets to a place where I'm just like, maybe I'm cursed. Maybe God doesn't like me.
That's not true. There is no God, buddy.
Yeah. Oh, thanks. I feel better already. Anyway, why are you fucked, Chris?
Listen to this podcast.
That's right. You're damn right he would.
That's right. God's favorite podcast. God's chosen podcast. Yeah. We are the chosen cast set to rule the world of podcasts. Weird. Anyway,
Chris, what? Why are you fucked?
I'm fucked because everybody is panic buying everything, and you can't find anything that you need when you need it.
yeah,
And
the meat thing is happening.
I'm just over it. I'm okay on meat. Like we went out, we bought a bunch of Sam's Club stuff weeks ago and packed our freezers. So I'm set on meat. I'm not feeling that yet.
Yeah.
Aubrey's actually making sirloin tips tonight.
Oh yeah, buddy. But like, okay, I went out earlier because we're going to be doing chimichangas tonight, like I mentioned.
Yes.
I went to the store and I had a couple things I needed to pick up. I needed to get refried beans. I needed to get one of those long, like, clicky lighters.
Yeah.
I needed to get more vegetable oil, and I needed to get cilantro.
Oh my god! How many of these? Oh, go ahead.
Did I get? Okay, so I had to go to a different store to get the vegetable oil because Sparkle was out. This is like a major. This is a major first world problem. This is like,
that's right.
Such
Yeah.
there's people being wheeled into a morgue every day,
right.
and I'm just out here, bitching about.
Right. I couldn't get the things I need to eat exactly the thing I specifically wanted.
Yeah, very first world problem.
Yeah.
But like, okay, so I went to go get cilantro, right? Like, who the fuck,
People are really out there panic buying cilantro.
Cilantro, that's what I'm saying. So
That
I went
seems
there.
weird.
Yeah, I just completely wiped out of cilantro, 2 different places, which is really fucking annoying. Like, I can't.
Yeah, that is really fucking annoying.
I had to buy dried cilantro, which is just so repugnant to me. It's like,
Yeah,
it's just like I
really
bought
is.
it. I picked it up in the spice aisle, and I went, like, it's like the grossest thing. Like, why? Because the problem is, it's because like everybody is using this time to experiment and try new things, and that's fine.
I thought you said everyone was using cilantro, not time.
Got him.
But everybody's using this time to like experiment with like trying to cook new things, but it's fucking up my shit. Like, I buy cilantro a lot, right?
Yeah.
I use cilantro a lot in a lot of the stuff I make.
Yeah.
And now I'm at the mercy of Johnny fucking Dildo, who's out here. He's buying all the cilantro up because he thinks it sounds exotic. It's some 40-year-old white guy who doesn't know what he's doing.
Johnny fucking Dildo.
And now I can't. And now I can't make my guacamole the way I wanted to.
Yeah, you know what? Sure, it's a first world problem, but also it's a super avoidable problem if people weren't just like acting like jackasses at the store.
Right.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, what a weird. The parsley too was like completely wiped out when I was there, and it's like, what a weird fucking thing to buy because it doesn't last that long.
No,
you know what I mean. It's not like it's gonna last you 2 weeks in the fridge. You got like a week maybe before it starts getting.
God, cilantro in particular goes in like 3 days for me. I swear,
a couple days. Yeah, like it just doesn't last. So it's just really fucking frustrating, dude. I don't know.
Yeah, it is frustrating. Like the thing that okay, so like I'm doing a lot of baking. Maybe I'm that jackass, but like you can't find fucking yeast. Because
I found some today.
I don't know what people are doing. I can't like imagine what people are doing with the things they buy. But
people don't know what people are doing.
But if they're just baking bread, there's plenty of bread.
You're right.
Like, I'm trying to make something that's not exactly just bread. Maybe I am the problem. Maybe I'm the problem.
I don't have. Okay, but like you had yeast in your right. Like you had yeast in your cabinet beforehand, right?
I had a little, and I have bought maybe 2 packages over the last like 2 months.
That's fair. See, that's my rule. If you had it in your cabinet before all this bullshit started.
Oh right, like if it's something you would have wanted before.
Right.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Fucking course, people. Why would you normally buy?
Yeah.
I wonder
what people are.
It's a first world problem, and not even one that I particularly agree with. Because like, part of me is like, fuck you, just get whatever you want.
Right.
But like, I got weak ass guacamole syndrome.
Oh,
I got wags.
You got the case of the wags.
I got wags, bro.
Mr. Brady, I'm afraid I don't know how to tell you this, but I've examined this guacamole and
wags.
it's tested positive for wags. You're gonna need an emergency shot of fresh cilantro for this not to suck complete ass.
How much is something like that going to cost? I don't have insurance.
I'm really sorry to tell you this. It's $400.
Doctor, I don't even have a club card. How am I supposed to pay for this?
Well, you can sign up.
Healthcare.
Get an extra 50 cents off your cilantro every week.
Yeah, the fine medical staff over at Sparkle Market.
I need my cilantro injection, Doc. It's been too long.
It wasn't just there either, incidentally. I went to Ruli's too, and Ruli's had parsley, but they did not have cilantro. I was pissed, dude. I was fucking pissed.
You know who typically has it, believe it or not, is Save-A-Lot.
Oh, really?
Save-A-Lot has like a ton of this stuff, like specifically like Hispanic ingredients, like for like different like dishes and stuff.
Like dried chili peppers, yeah.
Yeah, right. I bought those same ones, and they have a lot of stuff like that. But I also like weirdly feel like they don't like sell out of it, like they have more of it than actually is the demand. So there's always all that stuff available, even in the middle of the panic shopping.
Well, that's good.
Good to know. Yeah,
I think people don't usually think about that.
I don't think people think of Save-A-Lot at all.
Yeah. On a positive note, I went to the liquor store yesterday and I got some more Oban. I think I told you guys before we started cutting this. I figured like I was gonna buy something new that I haven't had before, and then I was there and I'm like, they had this, and I'm like, if you're gonna spend $115 on a bottle of liquor, you might as well know that you like it before you buy it. So, and I do.
Did you find the liquor store to be a very creepy place to be?
All the time.
Sort of. Yeah.
I didn't like it.
Is.
Like lately. Yeah, I'm talking about the one on Meridian over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the problem is all the aisles are already super, super crammed. So there is no keeping 6 feet away from anybody. It's like not possible. And then just like, I don't know, I don't want to be an asshole, but just like something about the people working there just weirds me out.
Yeah, I don't like them. It's like a ragtag group of assholes.
And there's one woman that works there that's like pretty normal. She's like tallish, blonde.
Okay.
I don't know if I know her. I know the other woman who's always loud and angry.
They had.
I don't know her, but there's a woman who works there that's pretty normal, and then the guy who I think owns the place, the one who always wears the ball cap, he's older.
Yeah.
He's relatively normal.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a weird place. It's like perpetually stuck in the 80s.
Yeah.
Right.
And that one woman that works there seems to like hate the customers.
She does. She absolutely fucking. She was ringing me out last year for St. Patrick's Day. I think we were talking about this a little bit on the podcast.
We probably did.
We did.
And she said something like, I don't know how all these fucking people come out here and they, she's ringing me out what she's doing. She's like, all these fucking people come out here and buy their liquor. I just don't fucking get it. And she's like trying to have a conversation with me. I'm like,
why would you go to a liquor store to buy liquor?
I'm also buying a bunch of liquor, lady.
Like, do you not see what we're doing?
Right.
You know what my favorite thing about her is though, is like every time I'm like I'm polite, so I say, hey, how you doing? And every time, blessed. I'm blessed.
The thing is, I'm pretty sure she's in recovery. I'm pretty sure.
I would bet.
I think she's in recovery, and I think it's just like boxing. You can't stay away from it. You have to around it somehow. You know what I mean? Like how Lennox Lewis has to be a commentator now because he can't, get out of it.
Just like gotta be within like 6 feet of it. Like you just gotta be near or like reaching distance of the alcohol, so that you still know that you're its boss.
All right. Anyway, we got talked
depressing.
enough. How you doing, Ben? What's going on with you?
Well, I'm fucked because I got Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I'm addicted to it and intensely frustrated by it all at once.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great game. It's really, really cool, and a lot more freeform than Dark Souls.
Yeah.
But Jesus Christ, I'm on this boss right now that. So like bosses, most enemies operate on the death blow system, where for common enemies, like one single death blow, like if you sneak up on them or you break their stance and then attack them, that's a death blow and it kills them. But some enemies, including bosses, need multiple death blows to kill. So I'm on a boss right now that not only does he require 2 death blows to kill, but then he comes back and has lightning powers.
Awesome.
And so I can beat his first form. That's not 100% of the time, but I'm getting there.
Yeah.
And then his second form, I'm still trying to get used to, because like, I can't replenish my health thing or anything. If I resurrect, I'm not going to be able to do it again. I don't know. I'm fucked because I'm kind of a glutton for punishment with these kinds of games.
Dude, you absolutely are.
Yeah, you definitely are.
I don't know how I seriously don't know how you do that, because I feel like I just go to bed depressed every time I play that game.
There's no way. I would get frustrated and I don't install it.
Well, because I don't play it as the last thing I play every night. If I'm playing anything, it's not going to be something that intense that gets my adrenaline pumping. It's going to be something more relaxing and all that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. For me, like actually surpassing the challenges it throws at you is just so rewarding.
You guys ever play that game for Xbox called "You're a Big Fat Fucking Loser"? Where it's like just like a guy that makes fun of you, and you you toil and mine bricks, and then you do it for like hours and hours, and then he like throws them all away, and you have to do it again. And he and there's like a webcam thing, so he could like make fun of your body. You ever see that?
What are you talking about?
Never heard of this.
Yeah, see, You're a Big Fat Fucking Loser for the original Xbox. Yeah, it was great. It's, just like shames you and makes you feel bad about yourself, and then you go to bed sad.
That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Wow.
Are you serious?
No, that's not a thing. Of course, that's not a thing.
Of course not. I was gonna say, I just typed that in, like, you're a big fat fucking loser, and I got an X video result. Actually, take that back. I got 2 X video results.
Oh, that's definitely someone's thing. I know that's the thing.
See what's going on here.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa, all right. Yeah, report in, Chris. What?
Yeah.
Let's
see, from femdomcraze.com.
It's almost definitely just some woman shaming you, which is, I guess it works for some people.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
No, now I have to make that game. Now I have to make You're a Big Fat Fucking Loser,
right.
The official Steam release.
So yeah, it's just got to be like a bunch of like menial labor that you have to do, like really, really boring like series of chores that don't matter. And also it can see you and identify like the things about you that are ugly and bad, and like make fun of you for them.
This is just several English women calling you fat. I don't think you guys can hear it through the broadcast because I have headphones on, but
I cannot hear that.
Nor do I want to.
Yeah. What's the situation? Are they like fully clothed and just being mean?
Some of them.
All right.
Some of them aren't.
Some of them.
I'm deeply curious.
It's little fadeaway cuts to different women.
Okay, but like set the stage. Paint a picture for me. What room are they in? What's
it's just cutaways. It's several different rooms, several different women. They're all English.
Okay, that seems important.
Is that a wiener? Wait,
did she say that?
Yeah.
Is that a wiener?
All right, I lost it. Wiener is not the.
No, I don't think you should say wiener in a pornographic context.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, here we go. This one's a little more aggressive.
That's a step and a half away from like these women telling me I have cooties.
Yeah. This is the same. Okay, so this one is from small penis humiliation.com.
What are we doing?
I don't know. We're all bored. I find this entertaining
Weird.
for the wrong
Fucking
reasons,
weird.
I'm sure, but still.
The thing is, Ben, to take a hard left turn out of this,
Yeah.
you are a severe glutton for punishment. You like, I would. There is no way that I could ever fucking play stuff like that without throwing this computer across the room. Like,
No,
can't.
and I've gotten unreasonably pissed at this game so far, but then there are days where I can play a boss die over and over and just be like, all right, well, I did okay that time. Maybe I'll just take a break for now, and I'll just be perfectly fine. So I don't know what the variable is there that I'm missing, but they're games about patience, and they,
Yeah.
the reward is that, like, holy shit, I actually beat that guy.
Yeah.
I think there's a value in that. Like, I don't want to like say that there isn't. Like, persistence paying off is like a great thing.
Yeah. Like that. Holy shit, that was me. I did that. I beat that fucking guy.
Yeah.
And then one thing I've noticed too is when you go back, because I've gone through and played Dark Souls again. When you go back, it's much easier the second time. You don't forget it.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard that. Like, the game gets easier on subsequent playthroughs, even with the New Game Plus on it.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
Yeah, it's just a matter of building up those skills, and yeah, it can be pretty rewarding. It's just, you gotta not take it too seriously.
Yeah.
Thank goodness though, because like Sekiro at least is a bit more forgiving than Dark Souls in terms of like, if you lose to a boss, you never have to go too far to get back to him.
Yeah.
The first Dark Souls, no. If you lose to Ornstein and Smough, you got to go through like
Schmoog.
2 rooms, a hallway, a great hall, and there's enemies in all of these places that you can run past, but I mean, sometimes you might not be able to. They might smack you as you go by, and you might need to fight them. And then, heaven forbid you're embered up, or you have your humanity on, because then you can be invaded by other players.
Yeah.
There is no player versus player component in Sekiro. Thank goodness, it's just single player. You can't get invaded or any of that bullshit.
Yeah, that is bullshit. I do not care for that.
But the game itself too is just really gorgeous, and it's just a treat to look at every time I play. So it's it's never too bad.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess I'm like I said, I'm fucked because I every once in a while I get this urge to seek out excessive difficulty and excessive challenge.
Yeah.
But whatever. I'm still having fun with it.
Yeah, you're not totally fucked.
I'm not totally fucked now.
Just partially fucked.
Fact.
Is that a wiener?
Is that
Did she say it in a British accent though? Was she like,
yeah, it's that a wiener?
Is that a wiener?
You twig and 2 veg.
Admittedly, I mean, there's worse ways to get off. I don't know.
No, yeah, it's. I don't totally. I don't exactly get it, but like it seems pretty harmless to me.
Hey, whatever you're into.
Yeah.
You remember those old police blotter compilations that they would release in like books? They're like bathroom readers, but they're actual like newspaper articles of dumb crooks and
Yeah.
all this. I remember one where this dude was arrested and taken to the hospital because he had been exposing himself to women in a parking lot, and one of the women he approached, he opened his coat, he says, "Remind you of anything?" And she says, "Yeah, it looks like a penis, only smaller," and then kicks him as hard as she can square the jewels, sends him to the hospital.
Oh, that's so good.
What a fucking baller response! Holy shit! Oh my god! I don't know if there's anything. I don't know if there's anything better than that you could say.
That's such a great line.
Oh wow.
Anyway, we're gonna take a break here. I need to freshen my drink up.
Yeah, let's take a 5. Yeah.
Get a bigger glass.
I'm gonna get more coffee because honestly, I'm doing the smart thing here right now. The smart thing and drinking caffeine and alcohol at the same time.
Perfect.
Yeah, because
So great.
they cancel each other out, so you don't feel either of them.
Yeah, they can't.
Perfect.
They cancel
how
you
that
out.
works.
They cancel you out at a place that is where you are just in the awesome zone and everything is awesome.
I think I'm going to put this scotch aside before I drink the whole bottle.
Yeah, get a beer.
All right.
Yeah, get myself a beer. All right, we'll be back, ladies and gentlemen, or mostly gentlemen.
Probably.
No,
Probably like 60-40.
there's like a couple ladies that listen to this.
We maybe have some non-binary people listening too. Who knows?
Yeah,
All
right.
right.
We probably have some trees who are listening to this. A couple pine cones.
The trees have ears.
So to all of our tree friends, we'll be back in just a minute.
Our happy tree friends.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bleh.
Welcome to the Three Dude Podcast. Hey, yeah.
You can find us at 3dudecast.com.
If you're wondering whether that's spelled with the numeral 3 or the word 3, the answer is yes.
We're so proud of ourselves.
We're so clever. We're such clever boys.
Wow. We've switched hosting to Podbean. You can still find us on iTunes and Google Play. So give us a like.
Yeah, give us a like, give us a listen, give us a review somewhere.
Give us a sandwich.
Give us a high five.
Give us sponsorships.
Please give us a hug.
Give us that money.
All right, we're back. This is happening.
Oh,
What's up?
shit, son.
It's the Three Dudes cast, and we're here drinking. And
Late stage why we're fucked. You can't get liquor delivered in Ohio.
You know,
I bet it's those fucking blue laws too.
Yeah.
wait, I'm sure I know what that is, but remind me what the blue laws are.
The same laws that say you can't sell on Sunday without a license.
Oh, shit like that, yeah. Yeah, almost
religiously
definitely.
motivated anti-drinking laws.
Stupid.
That's
That's
it's
going to
stupid.
stop me from drinking.
Yeah, dumb bullshit that helps no one.
Yeah, you think you can stop me
Never
from drinking? Good luck.
Yeah, it helps fucking no one.
Yeah,
The government should not be able to tell me when I can and cannot drink
yeah.
or buy booze.
Man, I'll tell you what, that says a lot about us, though, right there, doesn't it? It's like, I'm fine with the government telling me I can't go outside, but not that I can't drink.
Not that I can't buy whiskey or that I can't have whiskey shipped to my own fucking home in these United States of America.
Yeah. What's where's the protesters for that? Where's the guys with M16s for that?
That's what I'm saying.
Oh my god, that's the real reason we're fucked. We didn't even talk about is like Ohio hero Amy Acton has fucking guys with guns running up and down her street right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We live in a garbage society.
Anyway, so we have a game today.
Oh, shit.
Before we start our topic.
really?
Another edition of Buyer Beware.
I'm excited. I really like this game a lot.
For two of these, you're not gonna be required to give the exact title as long as you can just describe what the book is. Then I'll count that as being right. But yeah, it's an episode of Buyer Beware,
Yay!
in which I read real 1, 2, and sometimes 3-star reviews on Amazon, usually of products that are relatively highly rated, but not always. And you guys got to tell me what you think the product is.
Okay, then.
Hey, just so you know, if you ever need to branch this game out, I have found some amazing reviews on places in Google Maps.
Oh yeah,
Including
Good idea.
I looked at a building on Rikers Island. And it was like some guy rambling about how I wish I could remember. It was insane about how he was like a little boy and I don't know, something. Oh god, I won't remember it. But it was just like the ramblings of someone who like found a location and like dropped some insane backstory into his review. So if you ever need a way to branch that out, place reviews are hilarious on there. People just say the dumbest shit.
Sweet.
Anyway,
so today, your first one, I already spoiled this for you, but your first one is a book.
okay.
And a a review from Emily LaFleche. That's actually how it's spelled. Says, perhaps I didn't read into this that much, but I didn't realize it was supposed to be a biography and cookbook in one. The recipes aren't mind-blowing either, and definitely not geared towards someone who doesn't enjoy sriracha.
Okay. Interesting.
The next review is from Walter R. Lambert, and this one cracked me up. Okay, but really nothing to write home to Mom. Recipes are unusual at the least. Having attended California Culinary Institute years ago, I can say that these recipes seem somewhat scatterbrained for a younger generation.
Okay. Not enough to write home to Mom.
Mom?
Yeah, that was in all caps followed by 4 exclamation points.
Okay.
As a mother.
And from BE, the review says, this is the worst book I have ever seen. It looks like a Backstreet Boy lost his job and throws brisket rub all over his kitchen.
Wow.
Ooh, okay, so I have a hunch here
Okay.
as to what this is.
Well, it's definitely someone's cookbook, but like whose, right?
I suspect that this is You Suck at Cooking's cookbook.
Ooh.
Although I can't imagine why anybody would give that cookbook a negative review because it's fucking hilarious. And that's the only thing that's throwing me off. But he does, he does millennial cooking a lot of the time. He doesn't do anything super complicated.
Yeah.
Does he look like a Backstreet Boy that just lost his job?
That's the part that's throwing me.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like what I'm trying to think of, like who could come off as like unserious, scatterbrained, and in love with sriracha.
Guy Fieri?
You know, he kind of looks like an aging Backstreet Boy.
He does. I think I'm going to amend. I think I'm going to amend my my previous guess, and I'm going to say, for me at least, and I'll shut up after this. Final answer: Guy Fieri's cookbook.
Okay.
Okay. Dave, do you agree or?
Shit. No, I don't, but I don't have a good guess. So yeah, I can't think of anything better. So yeah, I guess in that sense, I do agree. That's the best guess I could think of.
Okay. This gets 4.6 out of 5 stars on Amazon.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it is Cooking It, Living It, Loving It by Guy Fieri.
Yes. That's
Wow.
like maybe the second one we've gotten right so far.
That's wow. That's a great. Oh my God, that was a good
Nice.
clue.
I think it was the brisket rub thing all over the counter that did it for me. If you love watching me stuff my fat face with an entire side of brisket,
Hey,
I love watching me die on the countertop.
so just a quick interjection. The thing that I was telling you about on Google Maps, and I'll read it to you really briefly. This is a review of the Rose M. Singer Center, and a guy said, "They're causing global warm. Try a day. Maybe then when my was in there 10 years. Name Trevor Lincoln Johnson. You, the USA, mad enough to make Singer Man and a Singer Boy."
What the shit?
I know. I think the dude lost his mind on Rikers. I really do.
Yeah. Well, he was there for 10 years, he says.
Well, he turned a Singer Man into a Singer Boy, whatever that means.
Haha.
Anyway, sorry for the distraction there.
That's all right. All right, so the next one is also a book.
Okay.
It has 4.4 out of 5 stars. Paul Kelly says, this book does not have any practical knowledge. A book on how to throw sticks and stones would be of more value to the average person.
Okay.
El Gato says, I could have looked this up online for free. I was just curious. I'm sure I'm now on a watch list somewhere, LOL.
Okay.
S. Brandenburg says, most things in it require blasting caps, which are not readily available, but the chemistry side of it and the procurement process is intriguing.
Oh God, blasting caps.
I have an idea.
I mean,
That'd
like
be-
I think of shit like the Anarchist Cookbook or whatever.
Right. That's my guess. But is that something you can actually buy on Amazon?
I feel like that is out of print.
Yeah.
For very reasonable national security reasons.
Sure.
But
and the last review
oh, good, we have one more.
Good. Thank God.
is Philippe R, who says, I have bought this book as a joke for a friend of mine who's the real deal, former special forces. I was expecting to find almost kid stuff. I don't understand how books like this can circulate outside of army forces. If I can get one, I'm sure hundreds of clowns with bad intentions have got it too. Crazy.
God, that just leans even harder into it being the Anarchist Cookbook.
But I thought the Anarchist Cookbook was like officially banned in the 1970s. Like,
yeah, it's a banned book, so I don't think it could be printed. I don't think it could be distributed. There are digital copies all over the place.
sure, I have a printed digital copy somewhere.
I used to. I lost
from high
mine.
school. Yeah.
But the thing is too, like, there's an implication that this is like it should be available to special forces, which makes me think that it's not the Anarchist Cookbook, but it's like some sort of like
Like
guide
a military guide.
Yeah, something that like maybe some former officer wrote or something. I don't know.
It's men are from Mars, women are from Venus.
It's eat,
And they
pray,
want your
love.
precious bodily fluids.
Mandrake.
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 Oh, I ripped that to the Plex server too, by the way.
Sweet.
Fuck, I don't know, dude.
So I'll give you guys another hint if you want.
No, you know what? I don't want a hint, so
Yeah.
I will mute myself here. I kind of want to figure this out.
No, yeah, let's not take the hint. Let's think just another few minutes on it.
Okay, so no hint.
I don't think it can be the Anarchist Cookbook.
No,
Because I don't think that's something you can get on Amazon. It's something you can certainly find on the dark web.
could it be like a Marines field survival manual or something like that? Like something that maybe like got
Yeah,
declassified and then like public domain and then republished.
Like my initial thing was, I don't know if Edward Snowden wrote a book or not.
But I don't know what Edward Snowden would be doing with blasting
caps, right?
Well, the other thing is, the first one said something about like the first review was referring to it didn't have any practical advice in it, and you would be better off learning to throw sticks and stones. So maybe it's a weapons manual.
Yeah, but what for?
I don't know. Blasting caps is totally throwing me.
You know, the only thing I can think of that makes logical sense is the Anarchist Cookbook, but I don't think that's something you can get.
Yeah, I don't either. This could be a bad assumption on our part, but I think that's true.
So my guess is going to be, at the risk of being completely wrong, I'm going to say that it's the Anarchist Cookbook. Even though I'm not 100% in it, I can't actually think of a better alternative.
I'm going to go for half points here and make an informal guess that it's like a military field survival manual, and I'll take whatever half credit or partial credit I can get for that if that's true.
Yeah, so I obviously for this one can't expect you to know the exact title of it, but Dave, you're correct. It's the U.S. Army Improvised Munitions Handbook.
Whoa. Okay. Oh, man. Okay, so
Well done, sir.
So that must be something that like it doesn't have an official copyright or anything like that. Like, why would it? It was meant to be internal documentation.
Right, and that's why the guy Elgato said I could have looked this up online for free.
Right.
There were a few people in the comments saying that it's actually a public document.
Oh God, I feel good about that one.
That was good. Yeah.
Yeah, that chain of reasoning, I was really impressed when you said Marine field survival manual. I was like, holy shit, he's got it.
Yeah. That's good.
Oh, cool. I don't usually get stuff like this.
Sir.
Nice.
All right, and this last one is a movie.
Okay.
I'll tell you one thing. Sifting through all the shit 1-star reviews that say like I wouldn't play on my DVD player, like the streaming quality was terrible, and actually like finding stuff about the movie itself is really tough.
Yeah, because that's the vast majority of comments are going to be someone mad because it didn't work at all.
Right.
Yep.
Danitza says, watched for a class. It was boring.
Okay.
Crusader says, hype over hip. It's a chick flick, all melodrama and gushiness. And no, the female lead is not unusually attractive at all.
Thanks, bro.
Quintus Arius. Already know what kind of commenter this is going to be.
The Reverend Quintus Arius
says, well, folks, I realize I'm treading on sacred ground here. I'll throw this into the bucket with Citizen Kane, A Hard Day's Night, and The Graduate, films that are the darlings of fans and film critics the world over that totally elude me. This movie is okay at best. It's a fine little drama on its own, but it's hardly a classic and certainly not worthy of all the praise that's been heaped on it since its inception. I will, however, defend the right of anyone to just embrace this movie as their own. After all, I happen to really enjoy Howard the Duck, a film that I believe has me as its only fan in this country.
To be fair, you have to have a really high IQ to appreciate Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck, yeah. Okay, so chick flicks.
Oh.
I'm trying to think back here.
Yeah. What's
So
that,
it's a
Ben?
classic. It's a classic film that is considered a chick flick.
By this guy, at least.
By this guy, by Crusader.
Okay, so like you could include. Okay, so like from the perspective he's coming from, I'm gonna like give an example. Like you could see like Romeo and Juliet. You could distill that down and just call it a chick flick if you're being dismissive because it doesn't meet your standards, right?
Gone with the Wind.
Yeah. I think that's the angle this guy's coming from. This is like a classic romance that he doesn't find up to his exacting standards. What a tool.
So he specifically mentioned The Graduate and Citizen Kane. So I'm going to take a stab in the dark here and say that this is a review for Casablanca.
Okay.
Okay.
I have one more review, but it doesn't really give any valuable clues as to what the movie is.
I'll take it anyway.
I just put it in because you can hear the fedora in this comment.
Yeah.
This is from Neo Troglodyte, and he says, what is the legitimacy of the experts, directors, and the sheeple's glowing admiration? Consider Ptolemy's geocentric view of the solar system and the ecclesiastic, scientific, and public embrace across 1,500 years for the lie. Questioning the dictum could eventuate in imprisonment, torture, and death. Okay, that's ancient history. The worship at the altar of the not-so-silver/noble screen. Is this our new belief system? Religion? A restored testament? Consider on Amazon's comment section the bilious invective, the verbal inquisition, virtual glossectomies, oriectomies, and the lobotomies decreed for heresy.
Oh my dude.
Whoa.
Okay, so
It's an awful lot of words to say I've never been laid.
Yeah. So he said silver screen, which makes me think that like the worshiping of the silver screen, it is definitely an older flick.
Yeah, it's a classic. In other words, yeah.
That would go along with Casablanca, and if this dude is shitting on Casablanca, I don't know, man. Casablanca is inarguably a classic. That's my final answer. I'm done talking. I'm gonna let Dave you hash this one out.
I really want to get this right because that last one made me feel pretty good. So I definitely think it's a romance, like a classic romance. I'm wondering, like, I'm leaning towards something like Streetcar Named Desire or something like that. But it's, oh god. I mean, like, what else? What other classic romances can you think of? For some reason, I'm like drawing a blank on them.
I don't know. Those aren't the old movies that I tend to like. Although Casablanca is very good.
That feels like a strong guess. It really does.
I think it's Casablanca, but I'm gonna let you try and hash this out.
What was?
I guess you could argue that King Kong is a romance.
You could. between a woman and a gigantic monkey.
Whoa, Dave. Turn it back there. No.
God, was there a production of there? Oh shit! I'm not going to delay this anymore. I could sit here and like him and
From
haw
Here
about
to
it.
Eternity is the only other one that's popping to mind.
I'm gonna say A Streetcar Named Desire just because of that sort of like classic Hollywood, gloss and Brando and
I'm going Casablanca.
All right, let's split our votes up. Casablanca, Streetcar.
These are reviews for Casablanca.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Who doesn't like Casablanca?
I don't know.
Neckbeards. I didn't include it because it includes way too much. This one was tough because I couldn't include too many reviews of like information that was too pertinent. That would have made it too easy to guess.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
But there was one review that was like paragraphs long, and it essentially boils down to that he doesn't like the character of Rick because he's a sensitive little snowflake who got his heart broken over a girl. Like, God
Wow.
forbid
Oh
a
my
male
God.
character in an old movie should have any depth at all.
Well,
Right.
that dude
God
that
for-
wrote that,
God
like
And Rick is not a snowflake in that movie at all.
the dude that wrote that
like-
review is crying over a girl right now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Exactly. How can you not? Okay, I figured, like, I was listening to that review and I'm like, that's got to be it. That's got to be it. But, like, real talk, who doesn't like Casablanca? Like, that's like,
You're gonna
that's
hate
like
this.
the movie.
I haven't seen it.
You've never seen Casablanca?
It's gonna go on my list. I've spent
Oh yeah,
I've spent
Dude,
quarantine watching
Watch
movies.
Watch
That's-
it. Watch it with Christy.
Yeah, it's one of those old movies that still holds up. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot
Yeah.
of older flicks that don't
Sure.
hold up the same way. Casablanca holds up. It's good. You could write that story today and it would still be good.
Especially because the Nazis are the bad guys, and making the Nazis the bad guys is
It's pretty edgy.
yeah.
These guys were Nazis, Walter?
Yeah, just I don't know. It's Nazis, bad guys. Oh, seems like kind of a rough territory in 2020.
Sounds something like a snowflake.
Fucking idiot.
Yeah.
I love Casablanca. That's it.
It's tricky too because like for a lot of these like movies and books and whatever that are considered classics, it's tough to find reviews that like actually, are full of, dumb opinions and not just like, oh well, I get why people like it. It just wasn't for me. Like, which is
Sure.
fair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but-
absolutely.
But it's tough to get past those reviews too because those aren't really what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
That's not a dumb opinion to have.
No.
If a movie's not for you, but you still see why, then fine.
Why not? Yeah, you did the last Buyer Beware. You did one for The Great Gatsby, which I'm of that opinion. It's not, it's definitely not for me.
The okay
Yeah.
Gatsby.
The just all right Gatsby.
It took me a while reading that book to kind of feel where it was going. But once I did, I kind of, I dug it. I wouldn't mind giving it another read sometime.
Yeah, I only read it once, so maybe it's worth another run through.
Mm.
But yeah, I get it. Yeah, that's a fair opinion. If you're sometimes you're just not into something, but I mean, if you're gonna like systematically take down the Casablanca, like, dude, come on, it's like the movie, right?
Yeah,
Like,
that's not just like an unpopular opinion. That's like a contrarian and stupid opinion.
Exactly. It's being contrarian for its own sake. Like to make you look like you're, intellectually superior to the masses. Like just because something's popular must mean, people are dipshits for liking it.
Most of
Right.
my least favorite people operate that way by default.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I really, really hate them.
Yeah. Well, that was good, Ben.
Yeah, God, I wish I wish there was another one. I always want to be playing this game.
These are fun. I think we've all nailed our games down. I
Yeah,
think
we
we've all
have.
got, right where we need to be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. Well, I'm glad you guys liked it.
I did.
So, quick segue because
Okay.
I have no logical transition from the game to our topic today, other than just that I'm sure you guys probably share the sentiment that being anywhere but this stupid planet right now would be kind of neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So let's talk space travel.
Sweet.
Let's science fiction or like real actual space travel, just whatever. Like what?
Let's
God.
let's talk about where the freaking Tesla Roadster is right now.
Yeah, right. What's going on with the Tesla Roadster?
I wonder
The one that he shot into orbit.
yeah, like I would like to know where it is. And I don't know if they can even track it anymore. Oh no, they actually. Yeah, I just pulled up a thing. There's a website. Where is the Roadster?
Oh no shit.
It's can that possibly be accurate? I feel like it must have gone farther. But they're saying right now it's basically just past Mars orbit.
No shit.
Yeah, so it's out. It's actually counting in real time. This is cool. Okay, so where is roadster.com?
Yeah, I found it here.
It says it's currently 74,471,405 and counting, actually down from Mars. So I guess actually it's moving toward Mars technically on its current trajectory.
It's probably getting
Yeah. Is it supposed to land on Mars?
Probably getting solar winds and
some gamma rays really impact the overall trajectory of.
And let's not forget space slugs. They'll
That's
latch
right.
onto the car and affect its trajectory.
You actually can see what its fuel economy is, considering that it's
cool.
It's probably perfect because you don't need to spend any gas to travel in a vacuum.
So right now, yeah, the fuel economy is essentially dropping, but like because of what it took to lift off, its current average is 8,882 miles per gallon,
Holy shit.
which is counting down as it no longer has to apply thrust.
Yeah, spaceships don't typically measure their viability in miles to the gallon, I don't think. That's a hilarious statistic.
Yeah, isn't
That's
it?
so cool.
Oh my god, that's sweet.
It's like measuring keyboard strokes and horsepower.
Yeah.
It's such a weird metric.
They also say that if the battery was still working in the car, which I assume it's not, it would have listened to Space Oddity 222,024 times since it launched.
Do you remember watching that thing launch for the first time when they were all like,
Yeah.
that was the coolest fucking shit. It was so cool.
For as big of a douchebag as Elon Musk can be, that's like one of his greatest gifts to planet Earth.
Yeah.
Shooting a sweet car into space.
More and more, I'm starting to become of the opinion that Elon Musk might actually just be an idiot.
I don't think he's that smart.
I don't know.
I mean, like he surrounds himself with really, really capable people, but I don't think he's like a genius or anything.
I don't either. I don't either. I think he's the Steve Jobs type where it's just like, hey, I want to be able to read the news on this little tiny thing. Get it done for me.
Yeah.
And he just like locks a door behind him. And
He's got the charisma, the personality, the name, and the money to make people want to work for him.
Yeah.
And those people are the ones that are, launching cars into space and all that.
exactly.
Yeah.
I just remember watching that like when it first happened, when they got it out of the atmosphere, the
way the light hit it.
Yeah,
Like
the joyous, the eruption of excitement in that room when they actually fucking did it.
Yeah,
I mean, like you just want to root for them, right? Like
that's the thing. All these big space launches and like when they like land stuff on Earth like from space and all that. Like it's so much more than just some people in some building that pulled something crazy off. It's like humanity did it.
Right.
Like our collective ability to figure this stuff out is overwhelming.
Yeah, even during the Cold War, when we put Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin on the moon, NASA got letters from Russian scientists saying, well done, and like holy shit.
Yeah, that's so cool. Like,
hey,
Bože moi.
One more fun statistic. The car has exceeded its 36,000 mile warranty 31,089 times.
Wow.
Sorry, I just can't help myself. I love that shit.
That's so cool. I remember like because I didn't even realize like I knew that it was happening, but I didn't realize when I watched it that that was the day that it was going to happen, right?
Yeah, right. It kind of snuck up.
Yeah, so like I saw one of my friends on Facebook had shared the video, and I'm like, oh shit, that's today. That's today. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so I watched it just as they got the thing out of Earth's atmosphere, like right at that moment, is when I tuned in, and it was fucking, it was really cool, dude. It was
Yeah,
it's just like an amazing. The closest thing I can equate it to is what maybe people felt like in the 60s when we landed somebody on the moon.
Well, yeah, like it's not like what we're doing is necessarily all that new, but it is electrifying to watch it.
Yeah, absolutely. It was cool. I mean, like, unfortunately, we don't have anything like our generation doesn't have anything.
Yeah, like
big
what's our man on the moon moment? Like, is there anything
Curiosity,
like it?
maybe.
Yeah.
Curiosity rover.
I mean, I don't know. We're lacking for a completely new frontier. That's the thing. Like, these are all like extensions of something.
American Pharaoh winning the Triple Crown.
Oh wow! I actually remember that too.
I stood up. I saluted the flag.
I was eating lunch at Trax when that happened.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think I was eating lunch at O'Donnell's.
Yeah, I was at Trax eating lunch, watching it on my phone. Like, oh, cool! Someone, you know. Not that that's not like that's a big achievement. It's just not like one that most Americans. Like you don't.
I don't know,
think
dude.
about that and go like, oh, okay.
I mean, horse runs fast, man on moon.
Well, in a really truly historical context, what about the first black president?
Sure.
Yeah, that's actually kind of like one of the biggest, like, wow, that actually happened in our lifetimes.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's definitely.
And now they'll never let it happen again.
And now how does it feel to be the last black president?
Said Zach Galifianakis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why we gotta work on exterminating the white race, boys.
You know what? I hate to say it, but it's looking like we got to do it. I'll mix the Kool-Aid. You guys come over.
You know what? One thing I've realized about white supremacists is like their deepest fear is like having their genes become diluted in the ever increasing, mixed race.
Right.
And, it's gonna happen. It has to happen because if you inbreed, your kids are gonna fucking die.
Right.
Like all of progress of humanity, like reproducing, has inherently like mixed the genes of people that like have like wildly different genetic backgrounds. Like,
right.
It has only gone in that direction and not the other way.
Imagine what these sorts of ethnic divisions are going to mean or look like in like 500 years. They're going to be non-existent.
Yeah. I mean, you remember that South Park episode where people come from the future and they're just all that same sort of brownish orange color?
Yeah, right.
It's like
there's no race.
Yeah. Yeah. I long for a day when this can be a thing that doesn't get talked about because there is no distinction.
Sure.
Yeah.
But you could argue too that with how we're engineered to be tribal animals, like we're gonna find some other us versus them to rail on 1,000 years down the line.
We still do that, even outside of race, people have religious divisions and regional.
We got a ways to go.
Yeah,
but hey, Star Trek is gonna happen in the next 300 years.
Yeah, right. Hey, speaking of Star Trek, I wanted to pose this question to you guys on the space topic. Of fiction, which fiction universe has your favorite like advanced space travel?
Ooh.
Like Star Wars, Star Trek, Battlestar.
Oh,
Firefly.
You know what? I kind of really like. Honestly, of everything, it's probably Contact. Do you remember Contact?
I do remember Contact. Yeah.
Contact, which didn't Carl Sagan advise on that? I think he was involved.
Yeah, he sure did.
And their system was so freaking cool because you just have this like marble pod that hovers above these swinging rings of energy or whatever, and like they spin around until they open a wormhole, and then they just drop the marble in, essentially.
Yeah.
And that was so freaking cool to me. Like, never seen anything like it.
That's a good one. That's a really good one, actually.
Yeah, it's really exciting to watch in the movie too. It just looks awesome.
I mean, you know me, I'm a Star Trek fan, so I'm a fan of that myself. But also, like, the implications of warp travel in that universe are pretty well thought out. Like the fact that, you know, a warp-capable ship with transporters and shuttlecraft has no reason to land on a planet, so those ships are manufactured in space.
Yeah.
Like, those ships are not meant for atmosphere.
As a non like huge Trekkie, I actually know that somehow.
Yeah, the Enterprise D was manufactured at the Utopia Planitia shipyards, which are in orbit around Mars. They're not on Mars itself.
Don't we see that in the beginning of this first Star Trek movie? Don't we see it?
Yeah, it's one of the original series Star Trek movies where the Enterprise is pulling out of dock.
Yeah, it's like in a big it's like a big grid of what you call it, like support structure type thing, and they pull it out of there, and you basically see that it's being built out there.
Yeah.
Incidentally, actually, I just watched last night. My wife has never seen Wrath of Khan because I'm a bad husband. We were just watching part of that movie last night, so and I know there's a scene like right at the beginning of Wrath of Khan where they have it docked and it's getting repairs in space.
Memory Alpha, the official Star Trek wiki, has an entry for orbital dry dock facilities, which is what these are. That's where they pull into for refitting, repairs, etc.
Any crazy good sci-fi has such level of depth, and I think maybe nowhere is that more on display than in Star Trek.
Star Trek is really thoughtful about this stuff.
Really, really thoughtful.
One of the other implications of I guess less of warp travel and more of transporter systems is the fact that to travel there are public transporter stations in major areas of the planet. So
areas of the planet.
So when in the unofficial sanctioned autobiography of Captain Picard, he talks about leaving for Starfleet Academy by traveling from his home to Paris and then taking a transporter from Paris to San Francisco. In DS9, there's also they also mention others, just planetary level transporters where you can go from one side of the planet to the other pretty much instantaneously.
Yeah,
that's badass.
That's really badass.
I think one of my favorite things about Star Trek is the fucking Borg.
Yeah, the Borg are cool.
Like such a cool idea.
They're fantastic bad guys.
Yeah.
They were originally parasitic worms.
I feel like they're space communists.
Well,
they're just like, I feel like that was the idea, is to write in like the collective, like the fearful collective of non-individuals who just,
I think if I remember right, the idea was more just it wasn't like meant to be political. It was just more like, our individuality, or the things that make us human are, the things that are most precious to us, and to have that taken away is like the scariest thing that one maybe think of. Even during the original series, they didn't really have like much of an anti-communist bent.
Yeah.
In fact, a lot of it was quite the opposite. A lot of it was more like, humanity's moved beyond the idea of like nations, and people still take pride in their heritage, but they don't use it as a way to divide each other.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He will not divide us. Sorry.
Wonder where that flag is now.
I don't know. I think my favorite fantasy space travel, and I'm going to loop a bunch of these in together because I think they're all very similar. I think it's the video game space travel, because most major games that I've played have the same kind of idea behind it. Like Mass Effect has Mass Effect, which is the idea of basically almost transportation style, like it transports that thing to a separate area of space without actually traveling there. You know what I mean?
It's like you electrify element 0 with a positive or negative charge, and that increases or decreases the mass of a thing.
Right. And slip space in Halo is something very similar without the like adjusting of mass. It's like just basically you're slipping from one area of space to another area of space. Super, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instantaneously. So and like most of the big sci-fi games that I've played, you know, are very, very similar in that. So I like that idea, because even if you're just getting it explained to you in like 5 seconds of exposition, it makes sense. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know, as a fan of like those big you know, nerdy fucking stupid video game bullshit, you know, it's really easy to just get behind, and you don't have to suspend your disbelief that much if someone explains it to you very briefly in a smart, you know
what
distinction.
You know what I always thought was a really, really cool. I mean, I guess it's all kind of very similar. This, like, you know, slip space or like wormhole or all this stuff. But that opening shot at the beginning of the first Dead Space.
Oh, that's good.
Do you remember that, where they like
I do.
They come out of like essentially fast travel or something, right? And they like arrive at this destroyed ship, right?
Yeah.
And it's the way that they like. It's the way that they like flash in, and they're in the middle of like this completely destroyed, you know, like stuff flying all over the place, all this debris. Like that was so cool to me.
Yeah.
I guess it's not totally unique from these other things, though.
I remember when Everspace was still in development.
I remember Everspace. Yeah.
I still have it. I've only played it like once, and I should go back and play it again. It's still installed, for God's sakes. But there was footage of capital ships warping in, and they just zoom in from the distance and come to a sudden stop at their destination.
Whoa.
Like it's just super cool. I
think I know what you're talking about. I've seen other stuff. I think that was kind of the way that they handled stuff in the most recent Star Wars movies. It's like really similar mechanism where they like they flash in and just kind of stop.
Yeah. Star Wars does the same thing. Yeah.
They do that actually in the Star Trek reboots too, if I remember.
Yeah, they just
God, that looks so cool.
It does look cool.
There's a point with the Enterprise just like slamming in, and all of its cannons are firing.
Yeah, that's undoubtedly one of the coolest ways to arrive in like sci-fi.
Do you remember how they explained the warp travel thing in Event Horizon?
I don't actually. It's been so long since I've seen.
No,
it's basically
I don't.
like if you have like point A, if you have like a piece of paper, imagine that's, you know, our dimension. Point A is on one end of the paper, point B is on the other. Instead of going from A to B, you fold the paper so that B touches A.
Yeah.
And then of course you go to hell and go insane. But
do you know that they're making a Amazon series about Event Horizon?
No shit.
Really?
Yeah, I just had to Google it because I couldn't remember what it looked like, and I came on an article that says that Amazon has got a series in the works.
Dude, that movie was fucking wild.
I gotta see that movie. I have not seen it. Add it to the list.
Pile it on there, baby.
I'm looking at a when I was searching for the Everspace GIF that I just showed you. There's a picture of that Super Star Destroyer in Return of the Jedi getting blown up by that X-wing slamming into its bridge. And the post says, "Why would you put a bridge there? Why would you make the bridge exposed on a capital ship?"
Yeah, there's always some dumb shit like that, isn't there? Like there's like big, giant, powerful ships with a glaringly obvious weakness. Yeah. Which they even kind of specifically pointed to when they did episode 7, where Harrison Ford just says, "All right, how do we blow it up?"
Yeah, right.
Like it's always.
Well, they went back and retconned the Death Star's weakness in Rogue One. Remember, there was like the engineer that deliberately included that design flaw.
Right.
I did not know that, actually.
Yeah.
So the rebels had a way to,
Yeah, and the whole point of Rogue One is trying to get that information to the Alliance, and that's where Episode 4 begins.
Have you guys played any amount of Space Engineers? Have you put any time into that game?
Not yet.
No.
I got to tell you, that game is really, really gratifying. Just speaking of space travel and stuff, because the way that every sort of spawn starts is you just parachute in on this little device that's basically designed to provide you with oxygen and the minimal ability to process stuff, and you gotta mine and build and create bigger capacity and build electric capacity and all this stuff. But if you're playing in survival mode, the process of getting off planet actually kind of takes a while, and you've got to find rare resources on the planet you're on in order to build the components to do the whole thing. And it's really, I remember the first time I got out of gravity. Oh my God.
Sorry.
That was a wet one. Are you okay?
God. Yeah, I'm good. We're good. No problem.
Yeah. Anyway, I remember how cool that was to get out of orbit, or out of a gravitational pull, and just build a new spaceport on an asteroid. How freaking cool that game is.
That reminds me, the next time No Man's Sky goes on sale, I'm buying it.
I got it.
Do you?
Yeah, I ended up buying it, and I think it's fun, but also it can become tedious. But I think it's a really good play. I think it's worth buying.
When's the last time you played it?
About 3 months ago, probably, maybe 4 months ago.
Yeah. So they've been tirelessly working on this game.
Yeah, continuously patching it. You saw the Internet Historian's video on that.
To make it a good game, the unbaddening.
Was it the ingoodening?
Yeah, the
ingoodening of No Man's Sky.
Yeah, they took to their great credit, they took something that was overpromised on, and they have constantly developed it to make it good. And they're still making it good. So
the thing is,
shout out to Hello Games for fucking knocking it out of the park there.
Any bad will that they had engendered by not fulfilling on their their promises is completely reversed now.
Yeah, space Minecraft.
It really is. The procedural planets are cool. Discovering things is cool. I sort of hit a little bit of a wall because at some point you started to do a lot of the same things, and so I feel like I need to figure out what the next thing is to do.
Sure. And they're working on that. They're adding stuff constantly. But I'm gonna buy it the next time, and I want to play. I want to play with friends.
Yeah, you know what? You can play with other people, can't you?
Absolutely, you can.
Okay, I haven't done that yet. I would like to, actually.
Actually, I'm gonna break out my Oculus for that specifically.
Oh, I can't wait until I can buy that. I can't wait until they have the Rift in stock.
You guys have not seen my Oculus, and that is a failure on my part. We gotta play with that Oculus.
I've been asking you for a year to set that bad boy up.
It's my fault.
Sadly, fucking coronavirus.
I know.
Well, right now I'm patiently awaiting the return of the Rift S, which there's no availability for right now. It's not it's the factories are all shut down and stuff. But the minute that becomes available again, I am going to get VR finally.
Dude, get on it. We gotta play because it's really fun. It's mind-boggling how good they've gotten it.
Yeah, the Rift S seems to be really good.
Going to be even better, than what I've got. So
yeah, it's incremental improvement, but apparently they've reduced that screen door effect by even more, and the tracking is a little bit more downward facing, so you don't have to worry about your hands if they're really close to your body.
Yeah. Huh. My tracking's been, it feels pretty good. Yeah, so it's super fun. We're gonna have to check that out. I would love to blast off a No Man's Sky with the headset on.
I gotta tell you, I just Googled Oculus Rift S, right? Because I wanted to see if there was any availability yet. The results, the Google shopping results, one of them is the Virtue Sphere immersive virtual reality simulator ball treadmill ride. Which is, I shit you not, I'm sending you this link. It's just like a giant ball treadmill that you can run inside.
Oh my God, look at this thing.
For $7.5 grand.
Oh my God.
Oh, $7.5 grand, is that all?
No big deal.
The Virtue Sphere, I think I heard about this years ago, and I just assumed that it was toast.
The Okama Game Sphere.
Oh, come on, GameSphere.
This is a real thing you can buy.
No shit.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
Ben, what else did you want to cover with space travel?
Yeah, have we touched everything that you wanted to? Or?
I guess other than this crapsack world, what kind of world would you want to find?
Oh, man.
Okay, good question.
Yeah, like imagine you happen upon the best possible, uninhabited or maybe possibly inhabited planet. What do you find?
I always thought it would be fascinating to find a world like Coruscant in the Star Wars universe.
Which one is Coruscant?
The city.
It's all, the entire planet is one gigantic city, basically.
Okay.
Like or Terrace would be another example if you're a Star Wars fan.
Okay.
That's a little deeper into the lore. But yeah, the entire city or the entire planet has basically been taken over with industry and population production. So the whole planet is a gigantic city, one gigantic city, and undercity as well in a lot of those cases where they build, you know what I mean? They're building up from the surface of the planet.
And Nar Shaddaa too, except that
Yeah.
Coruscant is more like the entire planet is Manhattan, and Nar Shaddaa is more like the entire city is Pittsburgh.
Right. I
Coruscant
think
would be cool.
I think that would be super cool to see a planet of civilization and nothing but civilization.
God, yeah, what a weird thought. Just like,
Yeah.
Yep, we did it. Like,
Right.
we're done. This planet is complete. That's kind of like it sort of feels like that's the end game of like all human civilization is just to just cover the land with
We've
us.
done it. There's no more naturally occurring planets right now.
We 100%ed this planet. Good job, boys.
Right. We've committed all the poor people underneath the gigantic building.
It's like that
They live
dude,
in squalor.
it's like that dude who beat Sim City. Like he made
Yeah.
Oh,
made,
yeah.
a completely self-sufficient Sim City where everything was as good as it could possibly be.
I'm so glad you brought that up because I was just thinking about that.
Yeah.
So funny story about that guy. His Sims in that simulation had an average life expectancy of like 51 years.
Oh, my God.
And somebody asked him, well, what do you say to that? He made the perfect city, 100% happiness. Everything is perfect. Everything's taken care of.
Mhm.
And somebody asked him, like, well, people only live to be 51 years old in this simulation. And somebody asked him, like, what, how do you reconcile that? Is this the perfect world? And he said that was not the goal of this simulation, which is basically like perfect world. People don't live very long.
Yeah.
What I mean?
Well, I mean,
kind of like mad genius. You know what I mean?
that's if you were to figure out the population say like a function of like its reproduction and death rates,
Yeah.
you probably would arrive at for stasis, for absolute stasis, you're probably not making it to 70 or 80.
Right.
Wow. It's just so wild. Like,
It's creepy. It's creepy because it feels too real.
it was like what, a 2 or 3 year long process to make that, right? Like it took forever.
Yeah, it was something ridiculous like
Insane planning.
4 years.
Yeah, 4 years.
4 years.
That guy. So like while I was going through the entirety of high school, that guy was planning and building.
It's funny too, because like when you look at his design, I haven't looked at this in a while, so I'm like reminding myself. But like, it's just like all these like bleak skyscrapers, and then like a little amusement park in the corner and stuff.
Wow.
It's just like very
everything's a perfect grid.
Yeah.
It's very strange.
It's so wild. Like it's just.
I'm really glad that like the way that we live is not totally mapped out by machines yet, because I feel like it would look like that.
It's just unreal. I mean, like,
yeah.
Wow.
Dave, what kind of world would you want to find out there?
You know,
Ben just looking at this is terrifying.
Yeah.
it's totalitarian in every way, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, like, what does an ideal world look like to me is like, okay, here's what would be really sweet. A planet with some form of breathable water.
Ooh, good idea.
we
Because
have that.
What
Not naturally occurring, but yeah, that's a real thing.
What are you talking about?
Let me find this, but keep going.
Okay. No, what? I can't get away from that.
Liquid. Hold on.
Oh, you know what? I think. Okay, maybe I did hear something about that.
Yeah.
It's creepy, but like I like the idea of, because we've been watching Blue Planet again. Blue Planet 2, rather. Blue Planet 2.
I'm so glad you get that.
Yeah, I love it.
Here it is. Can humans breathe in water as shown in the movie The Abyss? There are scenes in which a mouse is dropped in oxygenated water and it adapts to breathe. The scene with the rat breathing an oxygenated perfluorocarbon fluid was real.
No.
The rat was breathing a liquid, and some countries actually censored that scene due to perceived animal cruelty. This is real technology. Perfluorocarbons are routinely used today in liquid breathing ventilators for premature newborns with severely underdeveloped lungs.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
What?
What am I looking at? Is that rice?
That's rice. I'm sorry.
Yeah, what are you doing? Oh, it's
I'm Jake meme sharing.
Thanks. No, yeah, okay, so we've been watching a lot of Blue Planet 2, and like Blue Planet 2. There's these like really I don't know, like obviously the ocean is freaking awesome, and obviously ocean life is super cool and can be extremely beautiful in a way that like surface life cannot match. Like
and terrifying.
And terrifying. Don't go too deep. Don't maybe don't go in it at all. I don't know. But I think it would be really, really cool to be on like a planet where you could breathe the water and you could spend like a significant amount of time underwater. Like, I just think something about that would be really fucking cool. And like, obviously, even if we have, liquids like this, we'll never have an ocean full of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that would be really fucking cool, actually.
So The Abyss was one of the things was one of the things I thought of, because it's the only time I've ever seen anything like that. It was a really, really cool, like, I guess not sci-fi concept, a real concept, but also those assholes put a fucking mouse in that shit.
Yeah, but it was okay afterwards.
Yeah, but that's like really mean. I mean, like, he doesn't know he's not going to drown. Ugh.
Fuck him.
Neither did me and Winklevoss in our D&D campaign, but we still stuck our heads under the water anyway.
That's true. Bump it for Brave Boys.
Bump it for Brave Boys.
I guess Ben, you haven't answered this question yet.
I would want to be on a planet where, I guess kind of, I don't know. Shit.
It's not easy.
I would want to be on an inhabited planet.
Like with an alien life, like a race of like humanoid type things, or
like sentient beings.
Okay.
Preferably peaceful. yeah, just being on a planet with some sentient people that with culture I could learn about, good food, edible food would be
right.
the obvious starting point. Who knows if but yeah, and I guess ideally too, I would want to be surrounded with people that are also curious about humans. I would want to be in a place where there can be like a good cultural exchange, I guess.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, like you wouldn't want to go somewhere where they're like, ugh, squish it. Oh, it's gross. Cover it with a cup and get it out of the house.
Yeah, I would want to be someplace where I could learn as much as possible without necessarily needing to be a scientist.
Sure.
Yeah,
if you're a geologist or a botanist or I mean, these are people that are on every Federation starship, but obviously every planet has something of interest to you. Most planets have something of interest to you.
Yeah.
But for like a linguist or even just someone who wants to learn,
I don't give a fuck about a scientist.
That motherfucker's lying.
Yeah, be
pissed.
Dude, ICP.
The insane clown pussies.
Did you see the thing that was floating around about them like canceling the Juggalo Fest?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, they don't want to risk a single Juggalo life. Juggalos are perfectly capable of doing that themselves.
Right.
Juggalo lives matter, guys.
Whoop fucking whoop.
Yeah. God, I like the idea of like just like a planet where everyone's like, "Whoa, like you're a human? I've never seen you. You're super cool. You're a rock star here."
Yeah.
Because I feel like most of our science fiction does not go that way, probably because we as a people don't have a great track record of regarding something new with like the good kind of curiosity.
Right.
That's nice to think.
There's that whole I think it started as a thread on Tumblr, but the whole theory too, like a lot of sci-fi likes to paint us as either we're kind of average at most things, or we're like physically weak or intellectually inferior compared to other alien races. But what if we're like the baddest motherfuckers in the galaxy and we don't know it yet?
It's certainly possible.
Yeah.
They go on to point out things that like humans have humans are able to improvise weapons. Humans can have there are humans that can lose a limb and keep fighting.
Right.
Getting bitten by a human will probably infect your blood.
Yeah. Well, what about the fact that we have like subsystems inside our bodies that protect us from invasive threats? Like, I don't know if that would necessarily always be the case on another planet. Would an immune system be a necessary development?
What one would assume, but we only have Earth to make that assumption based off of.
Sure.
Right.
It's definitely possible that we that we are the baddest baddest thing in the universe.
Bones are strong.
We could survive in a lot of extreme climates.
Right.
Yeah, right. We augment our bodies with like defensive coverings to like survive just about anywhere.
Yeah. One of the funniest things in that thread was they eat capsaicin for fun.
Yeah, it's true. Like, I don't know, maybe we are that badass.
Yeah. No, it's definitely possible. It's definitely possible.
When you consider like the sort of like classic 50s aliens with the big head and the big eyes, like, you know how easy it would be to push your fist through one of those giant bubbly eyeballs?
Yeah, man. Look at the dudes in that Eiffel 65 music video. I mean, they were kicking the alien ass for like a minute and a half.
Yeah, aliens are pussies. Boys, I think it's time to wrap this part up and move on to the end here.
Yeah, this is fun.
That was a great topic. I don't know how we haven't talked more about space.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said,
space.
I didn't know where. God damn it, Chris.
I'm sorry.
I didn't know where this topic was going to go, but I'm glad it went the directions that it did.
Yeah.
So when we come back, we will wrap up with our recommendations and what we learned.
Yeah, we actually learned things this time. How about that?
Hey, it's a miracle.
All right, we'll be back in a minute.
Bye.
Bye. And we are.
Oh, are we back?
Yeah, we back.
Oh, shit.
Let's
Ooh.
continue the episode.
Sorry.
Yeah.
We have some recommendations. At least I hope we do.
do.
Mm.
Chris, how about you start us off?
Sure. So I am going to recommend something that is a sort of follow-up to something that we have talked about a fuckload on this show.
Mm-hmm.
I am, of course, referring to Breaking Bad and El Camino, which I finally got the chance to watch the other day.
You saw it. I haven't seen it yet.
I did. So typically, I like to follow the Mike's DeClasa logic when talking about a prequel or a sequel.
Okay.
Which is it's basically three questions, right? It's, does this story need to be told? Is the story engaging, and does this add to the overall narrative? And this is one of the few times where I think I'm going to recommend something to you that doesn't check one of those boxes.
Okay, so I'm going to make a guess. I don't know if this story necessarily had to happen.
Did not have to happen. Absolutely not. Super unnecessary for it to happen.
We got what we needed out of Jesse's story at the end of Breaking Bad.
We did, which is basically left up to you. What do you think happened to him? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the whole idea behind the finish. And it was really pleasant. They kind of let you decide for yourself what his future holds for him. Does he make it out? Does he not make it out? Does, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So El Camino has the very daunting task of trying to tell the story of what happens to Jesse Pinkman post Breaking Bad. Now, I will tell you this. I was very nervous when we started watching it and when it came out, because I'm like, how the fuck are they ever going to be able to tell this story without ruining it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Without taking something away. And I have to tell you, I feel like I should have known better, because having watched several seasons of Better Call Saul by now, I should know that Vince Gilligan and Peter Gould know exactly what they're doing. And they're able to make something good and make a story worth telling.
Yeah, you never want to bet against Vince Gilligan, honestly.
No. So of those three boxes, it does not. It checks the last two. It's an engaging story, and it adds something to the overall narrative.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a story that necessarily needs to be told, and that's okay. And this is one of the few times where that is okay in storytelling. El Camino is very good. It picks up basically exactly where it left off in Breaking Bad, which is, spoiler alert if you haven't watched Breaking Bad, it's Jesse basically driving, out of captivity into freedom, into the night air.
Yeah.
And it continues the story from there. It's told through a series of what is to be considered like present day time and flashbacks. So take, I'm not going to spoil anything for you guys, because I know you're both huge Breaking Bad fans as well, or for anybody else who's watching. So I don't want to spoil anything, but, there's flashbacks in it. You can assume to see some characters from Jesse's past come into the fold here. And in present time too. The story basically follows the narrative of Jesse, having escaped, trying to start his life fresh and basically escape the name that he made for himself. which is a very, very difficult story to tell. And there's a lot of hurdles that Jesse has to overcome to make that a reality before he can even, consider starting anew. It is a very dark, very, very sad story.
Jesse basically doesn't have a lot to work with as far as happiness by the end of Breaking Bad.
Right, exactly. The thing is, the character of Jesse Pinkman, and that's why I think that ending felt so right. If you're a big Breaking Bad fan, just because like Jesse needed a win. Jesse spent the entire series not getting a win, and Jesse really desperately needed a win. And the end of Breaking Bad, to the, at least to the viewers, you know what I mean, knowledge, he gets that win. He's free. So El Camino has the daunting task of trying to tell the story of what happens to him right after that. And I'm gonna keep this very brief and light. I don't want to spoil anything about this to you guys, other than to tell you that it does not take away from the overall narrative of Breaking Bad. You will not be disappointed by the end of the watch. I would say that it actually adds quite a bit to the overall universe and lore of that show, and it's really, really, really worth the watch. It's a sad story. It's not pleasant if you like that character.
You mean if we like Jesse?
Yeah.
If we like Jesse Pinkman.
Yeah, it's depressing to watch.
Of course we love Jesse Pinkman.
Right. Yeah, right. If you happen to like Jesse, everybody likes Jesse.
I'm like, who's that person out there who's like, I just kind of wanted to watch that bastard fry.
Funny you bring that up. I remember watching the last season of Breaking Bad. I got my mom into it.
Yeah.
And I was watching with my wife and my mom, and I remember there's an like the second to last episode of Breaking Bad is right after that big shootout in the desert. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
And they pull Jesse out, who's hiding from underneath that car. And I remember at the same time, both my wife and my mom grabbed each of my arms and went, "No!" They really thought he was going to fucking eat it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody wanted to see that happen in a show where a lot of people get fucking killed. Jesse does make it all the way through.
Right.
I'm not going to talk it up anymore. It's worth a watch. It adds a lot to the story. It's filmed very well. It's acted very well. It's nice to see some of these characters reprise their Breaking Bad roles. And just like with Better Call Saul, it's nice to get back into that frame of mind because it's really, really good TV drama. And this does it justice. So El Camino, Netflix, you can watch it right the fuck now. It's about 2 hours long. Definitely worth the watch.
Fuck yeah, dude. Great rag. I will watch that. I've been wanting to for a long time and just haven't slotted it into the lineup yet.
There's some suspension of disbelief you have to go through. It's Breaking Bad. So like if you're a Breaking Bad fan, there's some suspension of disbelief you have to go through just to get into that show already.
Yeah.
So and there's not a lot of it, but there's a little bit of like, okay, you know what I mean?
Well, that's
thrown in there for the fans.
Cat with 9 lives kind of shit for one.
Sure.
Like that show keeps managing to like let its characters dodge the odds. So
right.
I imagine there might be a little bit of that in the end too.
A little bit, yeah. So just be prepared for that, and it's not grotesque and it's not like overabundant.
Yeah,
but it's really good, and I very, very strongly recommend it.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Those stereo hi-fi burps are not going away just because we're in isolation.
No, they.
If anything, there's going to be more of them.
Well, I don't know, Ben. Do you want to go next, or you want me to go next?
You go next.
All right, I'm going to recommend something that Ben, you've already seen. Chris, you just fucking have to. I'm begging you on bended knee to watch this.
Okay.
It is the new series on Netflix, Middleditch and Schwartz.
Okay, yeah, I've heard this several times now, so I guess I have to.
I still haven't seen episode 3, but I need to.
We finally watched it. So
Yeah.
I now have a perspective on the entire 3-episode series, which is the concept is it's long-form improv.
Okay.
So it's 3 specials with Thomas Middleditch, who is you would know as Richard Hendricks from Silicon Valley.
Okay.
And Ben Schwartz, who you would know as John Ralphio from Parks and Recreation.
Yeah,
Okay.
I recognized him immediately.
He's 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 one of these guys that just like I don't know. He's a character without even trying. He's so funny. So these 2 guys got Netflix to take what is basically a big risk for Netflix. Like I can't think of any other improv specials that they have produced. And in fact, most people don't, produce and record and distribute improv. It's almost always like a in the room live experience type thing. And it can vary wildly. Improv can be bad.
Very hard. Very hard comedy.
Bad improv is very bad.
Yeah, exactly. Like, because it's the audience can dive really quickly into like almost like sympathy mode, and that is like the ultimate stake in the heart of anything funny.
Right.
If the audience detects that something's not going well, it can really fall apart hard. So these guys, managed to successfully get Netflix to fund a long-form improv 3-part special, and it's insanely funny. Specifically, the first and the third episodes. I think the way that these things tend to go, you kind of like, front load and back load your best stuff like an album. You've got filler in there, and hopefully it's good filler. But every album has filler. Yeah. This series' second episode is probably its weakest, but it's by no means bad. The first and third are insanely, uproariously funny. Like most improv, they basically find someone in the audience with a recommendation for or like a subject. They'll say something like, "What's something you're looking forward to?" or whatever, and then the people will shout things out. You know this formula from Whose Line Is It Anyway, right?
Sure.
But they go a little step farther in that they extract more information from that person. So they have a little conversation with them, get more details. And those initial conversations are incredibly funny. And then they do an hour of improv. The way that these guys do improv so often breaks that wall, where it's you're seeing them laugh at each other on stage and kind of set each other up to look like dicks on stage, and like
yeah, right.
There's like there's a lot of that where like you can see them fucking with each other, and you can also see them failing to remember who they are at times, which is really funny.
That's part of what makes improv great.
Yeah.
Like good improv, you know what I mean?
It's that electrifying feeling of like something like, unrehearsed, and it's a high wire, like it has every opportunity to fail. And so when they come up with something perfect, it's really, really great. I'm trying to not talk about specifics, which sucks because
I'll watch it. I will.
I so want to like explain some of the things that happen in there. I will say this one thing, that their third episode, I told Ben this earlier, the third episode, I think it's called Dream Job. Okay. And in that, they have basically 2 characters who both envy the other and kind of wish to switch places, more or less. Mm-hmm. And at some point, due to what happens, they become so confused about which character they're playing and what that character's motivations are, because they're trying to trade places. So they have to remember who they are and then what the other person wanted. And it's a complete meltdown on stage of just like 4 or 5 times them thinking they've got it figured out, and they don't, and they're dying laughing. And at one point, Ben Schwartz says about something else related, this is the only time in our careers that this is being filmed. So if we fuck this up, everyone's gonna know. Anyway, I'll stop talking about it. But Middleditch and Schwartz is on Netflix. It's so fucking funny. I've now watched 2 of those episodes twice, and I intend to just continue rewatching it over and over and over again, so Netflix will give me more of it.
Okay.
This is really my motivation here. Is like I want everyone to see this so that they make more of it.
Incidentally, I want you to know that I did try to watch the Hillary Clinton documentary.
Oh, dude, it's so hard.
I got through most of one episode.
Yeah,
and I was over it.
The thing is, I'm not crazy about it, but for me, most of it actually kind of rings true.
Sure. I can see how that, I get it.
I don't know. Like, most people are not absolute monsters. The Clintons, maybe more than a lot of other people, are probably...
I don't think they're absolute monsters. They just, there's a lot of, don't blame me kind of...
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I don't blame you. That's not an easy watch.
I tried.
I appreciate you trying. But that's it. Watch Middleditch and Schwartz. It's like, honestly, it's my hardest recommendation of like a while.
I will watch it tonight, in fact.
I will too, probably, because I'm like I said, I'm going to rewatch this over and over. Like, I want them to see the numbers and be like, okay, this is something we should do more of.
Yeah.
So anyway, watch Middleditch and Schwartz, which actually, it's funny. Christy recommended it to her mom, and her mom told her brother about it, and she called it Middle Dick and Schwartz.
What the fuck?
Which is really funny. But anyway.
Liquid Schwartz.
Schwartz. Anyway.
Your Schwartz is as big as mine.
Now let's see how you handle it.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I should watch the last episode sometime tonight.
Yeah, that's good.
So my recommendation, I don't believe I've recommended this yet on the show, but it's something I've been playing for a little bit, here and there, on and off. It's a God, it's hard to describe. Okay, so it's called World of Horror.
Okay.
All right, I'm in there already.
And we're all in that already.
Ooh, it looks cool.
Yeah, it's designed to look like, an old, like an old PC 95 from Japan, or like an old Mac kind of game, and
black
much the
and
same.
white.
Yeah, much the same vein as Oberdin.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna buy this game the other day.
This looks cool.
So this game is really interesting because there's a couple different levels of play, and at the excuse me, at one of the harder levels of play is a pure roguelike. It will generate. So there's like one main mode where like the story is generally the same, your ultimate goal is the same, but the things that happen and the specific cases you have to investigate are different. But essentially what this is a point and click horror adventure with like Lovecraft, like eldritch horror kind of elements to it.
It looks scary.
You're on a scary. It's pretty unnerving. You're on kind of a pseudo time limit in that most actions that you take, and certain actions will increase this more, increase your doom level. And if the doom level reaches full, then humanity is annihilated by whatever eldritch beast you're fighting.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's again, by and large, randomly generated, these events that happen. You've got different stats that can be affected by different things, boosted by different things.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't do too good of a job of teaching you how the UI works to start with, but like you'll get it. You'll eventually, figure out what everything does.
Yeah, it's really well reviewed.
There's some guides on there. It's a really interesting and unique game. And again, some just genuinely unsettling and unnerving things that take place.
Mm-hmm. It's only $15 and it's in early access, but $15.
Yeah, there's still this person who it's the work of one woman in Japan, and she's still developing this and illustrating new assets and stuff.
God, this is so cool. I would love to play this game.
Yeah,
this looks good.
It's
how's the gameplay itself? Like, I obviously I'm looking at this and admiring like the structure of the game and the sort of like a tabletop style of lots of math involved in like stats and things like that. Like I admire that, but like how is the gameplay itself?
So it plays largely in that you have to explore certain. So when you start the story, there are several cases of strange things around town you can investigate.
Mhm.
So you pick a case, and then it'll tell you, where to, where you would need to go to investigate next to advance the story. But there are side things you can do during the cases as well, for better or worse. You could get a nice item, or you could, see something disturbing and start going insane.
Mhm.
So it's point and click for that sort of exploration block. There's no like hard time limit. You can just kind of take your time. And then combat is turn-based. So you basically queue up actions, and each action takes up a certain amount of time during your turn. So like, you could spend your turn doing like 2 heavy attacks, or like 3 light attacks, and then hunker down and defend yourself afterwards.
Gotcha.
You can look around for an improvised weapon like a board or something like that. Every once in a while you'll find an actual weapon, and those give you a huge edge in combat.
Sure.
Yeah, and then you'll be presented with like, there's like a rune on the chalkboard. You investigate it, or if you have a high enough something or other stat or a certain book, you can actually interpret what the rune means. So it depends. There's a lot of stat dependent stuff, and a lot of different choices that you'll have to make throughout. And again, it's all by and large randomly generated.
Sweet.
So it's a pretty entertaining experience throughout.
I'm a big fan of any like rando generated stuff like that manages to still be good.
Yeah.
Despite itself.
Yeah. No, World of Horrors is definitely one of the more interesting and memorable games I've played. And if you were a fan of Obra Dinn's visual style, you'll probably like this one too.
Yeah.
I love the look of like the way that those early PC games did like cross hatching and stuff in these black and white games, and
Yeah.
it's sort of like it reminds me of like sort of the way that newsprint handles
Right.
like varying degrees of like light and dark without actually without actually having grayscale, but like hatching or stippling or things like that. It's like a really cool look.
Stippling. That's I was gonna say there's a name for this where it's dots that represent different grayscaling.
I like that really minimalist art style, like
Yeah, me too.
the Music Machine or the Moon Silver, you know what I mean? Those real indie kind of.
Yeah. Oh, I've had Music Machine installed for a couple of years now, and I haven't played it yet.
Oh, you haven't played? Oh, Music Machine's good. You can get through in about 3 or 4 hours.
I remember you showed me on your laptop once when I was still living in my studio apartment.
Yeah, it's a good game. It's very indie. It's super indie. Like the idea behind it is very unique, and it's worth a play.
Yeah.
The word that they use to describe it in the description on Steam is character-driven narrative, which I really like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So World of Horror. It's the one where the title itself is in Japanese.
I will absolutely pick that up.
Yeah, that looks sweet.
It's a good time.
Nice.
And that's my recommendation. So what, if anything, gentlemen, have we learned?
Oh, fuck me. I learned oh god, I learned that bread yeast are actually just made of little goblins.
Mean little goblins. Fucking assholes.
Vicious little bastards.
I learned that if you can, you should track down a used copy of You're a Big Fat Fucking Loser on eBay.
Maybe on good old games. I learned that we are God's chosen podcast.
Yes. I wrote the Three Dudes Godcast.
That's right. We are the chosen ones, obviously. I don't need to argue that at all.
The chosen one.
I learned
it will
that
be significant.
British women wiener shaming you is someone's thing.
Yes, I have that on here too. I wrote, is that a wiener?
Is that a wiener?
Is that a wiener?
Is that a wiener?
Are you talking to press?
Wait,
I learned-
is she Gordon Ramsay? Like takes off her wig.
Sure.
It's clearly
You call
Gordon
that a
Ramsay.
You called it a fucking cock.
Jet pressing.
A fat cock, a fat fucking mess.
Okay.
I wrote that Johnny Dildo is responsible for the national cilantro shortage.
I forgot about
Johnny. Wait, was it Johnny Dildo or was? Yeah, I guess it was Johnny Dildo.
Yeah, Johnny
Dildo.
fucking Dildo.
God, I wrote here that I've got WAGS, weak ass guac syndrome.
Terribly sorry,
Yes,
sir.
guac.
There is treatment, but it is quite elusive.
You have to go to Mexico to learn how to make your guac not as weak.
I learned that from a totalitarian and nightmarish perspective, 51 years is the ideal life expectancy.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. That was not the goal of this simulation.
that's like what a fucking killer robot would say.
It's so evil. It's like and like indirectly evil. Like he doesn't realize how evil it is when he says it out loud.
No, it's seriously like a cyborg thing to say.
Yeah, it's like fucking Ian Holmes' character in Alien,
Right.
right? When,
Yeah.
when they find out that the real goal is to bring the alien back and damn the crew. You won't survive.
You won't
but
survive.
You have my sympathies.
Yeah, right. He's spitting milk out of his mouth.
That's so creepy.
I put the poor people on this planet are under the buildings.
Yeah. Deep in the basement, way down there.
You're an upwelder. You have credits.
Goodbye, Upworlder. Yeah. Forget about that.
You come to me if you ever want to make a deal.
I wrote that it's somehow possible to breathe water.
Oh, that's so crazy. So what do they call it? They have a chemical name for it. It's like
Perfluorocarbons.
that's it. What
I'm
is
going to write that down. Incidentally, I'm not writing this in a notebook. I'm writing it on note cards.
Oh, really?
Which are going in, yeah, because that's all I have in this room right now.
Okay.
So it's going in my notebook when we
When we
when
finally
actually
get back together.
into the studio. Yeah, right. Which will be a joyous celebration.
I really
Oh,
can't
God.
wait. I don't know when it's going to happen. Actually, let's talk about this because, like, technically speaking, they're loosening stuff up around the state, but they're still asking people to
Yes.
like not congregate.
Yeah.
I mean, like, meanwhile, like, litterally right next door, like, my neighbors are having a party in their backyard with like 9
Yeah.
or 10 people there, and
Look,
I'm like,
man, I got to be honest with you guys, and I wasn't I wasn't sure if I was going to admit this or not. My uncle is coming into town tomorrow, and we're doing a bunch of work on his house.
yeah,
And then I'm going to be driving back to California with him and spending a little time out there. So
are you
Whoa.
really?
yeah,
Holy shit! Well, first
and
of all,
it's
that's
all-
exciting.
it's only because I haven't seen him in forever, and we've got some serious like work to do around the house that they bought up here.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just an opportunity to go back and visit for a little bit. So I'm happy we did this podcast because starting tomorrow for the next few days, I'm going to be unavailable.
Well, also like I think
Yeah.
I think I should say this, and maybe this probably goes for like everyone listening and everyone around. Like, my goal is not to shame anyone for how they decide it's time
Sure.
to start.
Yeah.
I don't really think that that's anyone's necessarily like prerogative to decide that other people are wrong about how to start their lives up again.
Sure.
But I do think that when we all get back together again and when we start doing stuff, it'll be because we are all at consensus and, everyone
Yeah.
has veto power. Like,
Sure.
there's, and I don't know when that's going to be for us, but when it does happen, I agree. It's going to be fucking miraculous. You guys might have to like crash on the fucking couches because it might be like a fucking big,
Oh, yeah.
Like a
big
rager,
fucking
yeah.
drunk nightmare.
Fucking A.
Yeah. No, like it's serious. Like, okay, so my cousin Emily, my uncle's stepdaughter, daughter, she had COVID. She was quarantined for the 2 weeks after. She was isolated in a part of the house away from her kids, and her fiance basically took care of the kids while she was locked in her bedroom for 2 weeks. So he it's not like, we understand it. It's just,
Well, shit. Well, for all we know, you actually had it. We've talked about this already.
Right, there's a very, very real possibility that my wife and I both have had it already. Her especially, because she exhibited like to the T every single symptom that they've laid out.
Yeah.
Like the difficulty breathing, the taste adjustment, everything had happened, while she was sick.
The loss of smell and taste is like the real sort of like smoking gun.
Right. And like I went through 3 rounds of antibiotics before it went away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like which tracks.
Yeah, it does.
So I don't know. And I don't know if that means anything. It's just like, I wouldn't do this if it wasn't, if it wasn't something that was, that he asked me understanding what was, what was going on. So
yeah.
But there's a lot of work that needs done where they're at. So,
well, take this from me that like, I'm not going to shame your decision to go and spend time with your family. I know that maybe you didn't want to admit it because obviously everyone's kind of looking over their shoulder right now at what's going on. But this is the time in particular where we have to evaluate and readjust and figure out what's all right. And I do think it's an individual decision, and we should probably follow recommendations. But we're in that gray area right now.
Yeah, I know.
So be safe is my thing. Oh
yeah.
I wish you some. I wish you some. Much needed normalcy over these few days. That's going to be really great for you.
It'll be good. We're driving back. He's got a vehicle up here that he's got to take back. So we're going to be watching movies in the car basically for 2 days.
God, that's so great.
Awesome.
Pick us up a souvenir, will you?
Yeah, I will. And then of course I'm gonna once I get home, I'm gonna lock myself in here. For just to be on the safe side. But I talked to Trisha about it, and she's like, "Look, do whatever the hell you want." She's like, "If anybody's gonna get it, it's gonna be me." Being at the hospital.
You might be safer on the road for all you know.
Right.
Well, shit. If you're gonna be out of commission for the next couple days, I think tonight would be a good night for some more Kill It Floor, dude.
Yeah, you might not be off track there. That might be something to do.
Yeah, I think we had to take an hour or two break, but then I have to make my
chimneys. So
yeah, absolutely. Dinner's cooking right now. It smells
buddy.
amazing.
All right, well then let's wrap this fat boy up, huh?
Yeah, let's do it.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Quarantined Dudecast.
Yeah, and thank you for continuing to listen through all this fucking bullshit.
Yeah,
this is bringing you some measure of comfort and joy. And
yeah,
I was just gonna say that. I really hope that this actually does something for somebody, and I know it does for us.
Yeah, we joke around a lot here, and we're like dumb and poo poo pee pee and ha ha. Seriously, I was looking at some of the statistics. We have a pretty serious number of downloads.
Oh, really?
Yeah, not serious for us, but we have a decent amount of people who listen every week. So
wow, way more than I thought. When you look at those downloads, I don't know 40 people that listen to this.
Yeah, right. Well, we've got them, and that's just downloads. That's not even listens. So
yeah.
Yeah, I know there's a decent amount of people out there, more than we know, who listen to this. So thank you so much for doing that.
Yeah.
And we hope you stay safe, and we hope you're well, and we hope you don't go fucking slowly insane through all of this.
Or if you do, just manage it.
Pro tip, late recommendation, take a multivitamin because it helps. It makes your mood so much better when you actually have all the stuff in your body that you need.
Yeah, maybe I should start doing that.
A good one
makes me feel better. Alcohol.
Yes. Yeah. Oh God, drink.
You gotta get that. You gotta get them old people vitamins because they're for if your body absolutely doesn't have any vitamins in it.
Yep. I've been taking them for about a week, dude. I feel better already because I was gonna just take vitamin D to not lay in bed for 3 hours.
Sure.
But multivitamins, do it. It's good. It's good for you.
It's good for you. Wow. Actually, you know,
Right.
let me just real quickly say I'm looking at our statistics, and I didn't realize that that we got at some points over 178 downloads a month.
Yeah.
That's
Pretty cool, huh?
That's kind of bananas. Thanks for that, you guys out there, and for the 14 people in Finland who listened. Yeah,
Cool.
14 in Finland, 5 in Canada.
Is Finland on our list of countries that we've offended?
Not yet.
I don't think so.
Okay.
We'll have to correct that.
Yeah, we'll have to address those Finnish bastards in their.
Yeah.
Their...
No, seriously, it's like I was digging through it the other day, and it's pretty fucking cool, man. We have some listeners out there.
It's nice. I had no idea. I really appreciate. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, we honestly and we'll have to check our email. It's what hamslamanddrag@gmail.com, right?
Yeah, actually, I will have you know, this is just a little bit of rounding this out. Our most listened to episode for the last month was Ask the Dudes or 29 Pallets of Poop. That's Drewby's episode.
Yeah, we gotta have, as soon as we have the chance, we gotta have Drewby back on for an Ask the Dudes Part 2.
We really do.
That was a blast. No, thank you guys for listening, and hey, fucking while we're at it, tell your friends, because we'll keep making it if you keep listening.
Yeah,
we'll keep making it even if you don't keep listening.
I was just gonna say, we're gonna stop, despite the fact that it's bad and poorly listened to.
But we'll definitely keep making it if you keep listening. So
yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Well,
all right.
Thank you.
We'll be back next time, whenever that might be, with Dave's episode.
I guess so. Right.
That'll be awesome, dude.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, it's really nice to, even though we're apart, it's nice to do the show that's just the way it started with just us three. I love having the guests on, but it's nice to
Yeah, and also
the core there.
This completely turned around my mood today, which was sour and nasty as hell, and I think it's just good for my mental health to talk with you guys. So
yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's true pretty much every time we do the show. It always makes me feel better. So
yeah. All right. Well, let's close it up. Thanks for listening. We'll be back with another episode. Stay alive.
Love you guys. Yes, please stay alive. Yeah.
All right. Bye.
Goodbye.